Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Trigger. I am Mega400, and in this episode we are going to tackle the Black Omen. This is the final stretch, guys. This is like the last thing. But first, if you go to the Black Omen in the future, you will have Zeal, or Zeal's crazy clone, or something. Because at this point, Zeal's kind of just like everything, because she's been a part of Lava, so she's not really solidified anymore. Anyway, if you go here, you will fight these guards, and then you can't do anything else. The door is sealed because, as she said, Lavos has already been awakened, so you can't go in the Black Omen. Which begs the question, I do wonder, like, was the Black Omen didn't exist before I'm meddling? Because obviously it didn't exist, we didn't see it floating in the present, so, you know, it's interesting, the point of the Black Omen. You know, what the purpose of the Black Omen is. Again, gameplay-wise, but, like, it just kind of appeared out of nowhere, and it wasn't there before, so it's kind of odd. Anyway, it has awesome music, though. And we have Zeal here again. Hi, Zeal. Fools, haven't you learned your lesson? We are immortal. We shall live forever with Lavos, who devours his planet even as he sleeps. Yeah, we know that. We know that. It is a path which leads to Lavos. It is a shrine which provides us with limitless power. So yeah, she's basically saying, we are a part of Lavos, you suck, bye-bye. And she is going to make us fight this thing. This thing is a mutant. I think, is it a Giga Mutant, or... we will find out in a second. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Mega Mutant. So, here's the deal with the Mega Mutant. The Mega Mutant has a bottom and a top. The top appears at the bottom, and it has physical damage to one character, drains the HP of one character, puts one character to sleep. This guy's not that hard. Just keep attacking with your strongest powers. The bottom one does magic damage, the top one does physical damage. Basically, it's not that hard. This guy is a pretty simple boss. But yeah, this is basically what the Black Omen's going to be. It's going to be a bunch of boss battles, a bunch of strong enemies, and you need to take Isla with you into this, if you're going into the Black Omen, okay, because you can, at this point, you could technically just fight Lavos. You can fight Lavos by flying the Epoch to 99. You can go through the bucket in the End of Time to fight Lavos. This is just another way you can go to fight Lavos, and if you're going through the end of this place, you need to take Isla because there are a ton of charms, great charms you can get from these guys, a lot of the enemies, so you definitely want to take Isla with you. The other thing, though, is, the Black Omen appears in 3 time periods, so I recommend tackling it in the 1000 AD right now, because that means later you can go back and do the past 2 Black Omens as well, the ones from 12,000 in the Kingdom of Zeal remains, and then in the Middle Ages as well, because then you'll get twice the amount of experience from these guys. If you feel like going through it twice, that is. Here we have Incognito. Incognito, I think that's her name, isn't it? Yeah. Incognito has Peeping Doom is when they're like that guy right there, when he's peeking out, that's Peeping Doom, supposedly. But Incognito, you can charm him, for... let me find out. You can charm him for a muscle ring. Again, a lot of these guys have great, you know, a lot of these guys have great charms, and most of it is just he can unlock your counterattacks, and for the most part, it's just a stronger version of those guys from Guardia Castle. That's a lot of these enemies are just stronger versions, but there's a lot of kind of tricky enemies too. And this place did take a while. Again, it's gonna take about like quite a few videos. It's probably the longest dungeon, I guess would we say, because a lot of it is battles, and if I cut out all the battles, there wouldn't be that much, but I do like to leave in the battles because you sometimes see some interesting things. I also, again, I'll be having, I think I'm reconsidering the whole status ailment compilation video, but I definitely think I'm going to do a tech compilation video because it'll just be for anyone who wants to see every single tech in the game, so I'm definitely going to be doing that at some point in the future. As well as the endings, but this game is coming to a close quickly and shouldn't be too much longer. But yeah, there's not going to be that much to talk about, so I'm going to start talking about Hunchback of Notre Dame. I recently watched that movie again, and my friends were watching the movie, and it really is. It's one of those movies that I didn't necessarily like as a child, and it's really not one for kids. It's one for that kids can enjoy, but it really has a lot more to it. Like, it's one of those cartoons where, or one of those animated movies that, you know, kids could enjoy it because of just, you know, the silliness and the, you know, the random action and stuff. But you know, it's adults who probably will get much more out of it because of the a lot of the themes it has. And these guys, you can charm a hyper ether off of them. They do shadow damage to all characters in a row, so be careful of these guys. Again, most of the enemies aren't too bad. There are some that are kind of tricky, such as these guys. I'm not sure if these guys are that tricky though. These guys are. And I'm looking up all the information because this whole place is just enemies, so I'm trying to give you as much information about these guys, about the enemies in this place as possible. These are goons. You can charm them for Nova armor. Other than that, they're just, you know, attack them with strongest attacks. They're not that hard. But yeah, it has a lot more, you know, a lot more theme playing with the game as opposed to like you know, other movies, like, especially movies nowadays, are a lot more just, you know, aimed for kids. They have almost no meaning or morals that are in depth, and there isn't any like hidden messages or anything. But like Hunchback is a really great film. It's got one of the best villains ever. Frollo is really everything about him, and as a kid you're just gonna say he's evil, but when you're an adult you can really feel there's so many great things about him. He's this very highly religious man. He's really religious, and he sees corruption everywhere except for within himself. He's basically lusting after Esmeralda, and if he can't have her, she will die. He wants her dead or for him. So basically he's offering her life for doing him. And there's just so much. He's such a great character. There's a lot of great characterization. One thing I did notice about this movie and a lot of Disney movies is they tend to be way too short. They tend to they do a good job with what they have, but they tend to be a little bit too short. It's like they rush things a little bit too much with the plot because of the length of the movie. And I feel like the movie should be a little bit longer, but for the time they have, they do a really good job. I think if the movie was a little bit longer, just a little bit, because it's like a 120. Most anime movies about like about 120 minutes, I believe. Or actually, no, I think it's about maybe 90 minutes. I don't know, but it's I feel if it was a little bit longer, it'd be it'd be much more successful in terms of telling the story. But overall, it's a really good movie. Definitely, you should check it out if you've never watched it. It's one of those movies when I was a child, again, I wasn't really into, and, you know, watching it now, it's really, really good. You know, it has a lot of great themes. And here, these guys are, the ours remind me of, like, tin cans. You can charm a gold earring off of them. The gold earring, of course, is the one that, was the stud, or I believe the earring's the one that gives you extra health. The stud is the one that does the magic, I believe, as in like it allows you not to use as much tech power. But these guys aren't that bad. They'll again, there's information about them, but most of it isn't that important. Just again, attack them with your strongest attacks. They're not that bad. They're not that hard of an enemy. And the other thing about Notre Dame I noticed was with Notre Dame. It uses a lot of 3D. This is the point where, like, early on Disney had, you know, CGI, but near the end they started using more and more CGI in their 2D films. And Notre Dame, almost a good majority of it has a lot of CGI in it. The bells, a lot of the scenery, not the characters, but for the most part, a lot of the scenery is CGI. Unless I'm looking at it wrong, but I definitely know the bells are definitely CGI, and there definitely are CGI elements. There might not be nearly as much CGI as I'm looking at it, but for the most part, yeah, it looks like a good portion of it is CGI. I mean, I'm an animator. I'm pretty good at telling what's CGI and what's not. But what they do is the way they use their filters, they make it look. They do a good job of blending it with the 2D. They make it look like not filters, but they use the textures they use, the lighting. They make it look like it matches with everything else. Here, these panels. These guys aren't too difficult, but you definitely want to charm them because you'll get a speed tab. every time you kill one of them. So you definitely want to kill these guys. And they also do shadow damage, so it's probably good to have a shadow, one of the shadow males or the black males on you, because I think a lot of these guys, a lot of the enemies in this place do shadow damage. But yeah, there's a lot of, and that's what you don't see anymore nowadays. All the CGI movies you see, I mean, granted, Pixar is a great company, but they all look the same. They all have the same, same look to it, and I like to see more movies that not necessarily were even in 2D. Like with 2D characters, but at least have the same feel. Like all the feels to all the CGI movies almost all seem to be the same. They have that very glossy look a lot of times. They have that very, you know, the same colors. They all look very similar. Whereas if you look at Notre Dame's 3D, it has the look of not looking. You know what I'm saying? I think movies nowadays should stop trying to make the CGI look exactly like all the other CGI movies. That's something that really disappoints me with CGI, and if I was to make CGI, I wouldn't be making it to look like, you know, Finding Nemo or Ratatouille or Toy Story. Well, I'd be making it look like I'd do my own style. I'd mess with the textures, I mess with the lighting, and I make them look, not necessarily like Notre Dame, but I'll make it look different. I'd mess with the style. You can do CGI, but the problem is nowadays, people see CGI as just a thing to impress people with, when really it's just a medium you can use. And you can make the medium look any way. You can make a painting look really, you know, like, there are many different styles of paintings, right? You're still using paint. You're still using, like, acrylic paint or oil paints, but you can make things look different. There's, like, impressionists, there's many different styles. I hear these guys are Boss Orb and Sidekick. These are the other, sorry, these are the other group of 100 tech point guys, and these guys are really difficult. The middle one doesn't give you 100 tech points, but what it will do is it will cause fire damage to you. So if you have the fire mails on, which I didn't because I was lazy, or if you have, like, Chrono has this counter attack that is really successful using that. But basically you want to attack these two guys on the right and left before they run away, because if they run away, well, you're not going to get any tech points from them. So you definitely want to do that. And get rid of the those guys so you can get, yeah, tech points from them. But, you know, other than that, there's not much to talk about. The sidekicks won't attack you, just the middle one will be attacking you. But yeah, that's my thing, is like with CGI, you can do CGI and make it look great. You don't necessarily have to even do 2D. You can do CGI. You can use CGI. But South Park is made in Maya. South Park is made with that, you know, the same program, and yet it doesn't look anything like. I mean, a lot of the buildings are made probably with 3D, but they don't. The way they shade it, it doesn't look like, you know, 3D. That's the thing, is I don't think enough people are using CGI. They're just doing the same thing with CGI that everyone else has done. I think they should be, you know, messing with the textures more, making it look different styles. And right now, all the style seems to be the same. And these guys are Metal Mutants. Metal Mutants will. Not much else to say about Metal Mutants. Again, they're just pretty basic, though. If you charm them, you get a hyper ether off of them. So it might be worth charming them, but it's not one of the best charms, though. But with that, I'm almost out of time. So next time we'll be continuing through the Black Omen. Again, there's not gonna, it's gonna be kind of boring, but I did want to show it off. So this has been Mega Freak 400, reminding you that when you wish upon a star, it does not matter if you have a car. Pudding will rain down on you. Blue